What's going on, my free thinking rebels? It's Stefan Subero, the holistic growth mentor, coming to you once again at Decrypting Crypto. Now, today we are talking about mastering Fibonacci, turning $5,000 into 200,000 plus in just 4 trades. Now, you guys must be asking yourselves, what is this guy talking about? Well, before we jump into that, remember that this video is brought to you by the Future of Money Masterclass. A little bit more about that later on. So I got inspired to make this video because I had a friend of me ask me, listen, how much money does it really take to get a substantial return trading Bitcoin? And again, I'm going to use Bitcoin as our golden example because one, we have the most history for Bitcoin, so we can make more informed decisions by looking at it. And also, Bitcoin is the king of crypto, hence most of the other assets kind of follow what Bitcoin does. Not exactly the same, but it rhymes a little bit. So before we jump into the charts, let's take a minute and try and understand what exactly is the Fibonacci retracement tool, which is going to be the main tool we will use to understand how this strategy would work. Now, let's take 1 second. Let's see. Alrighty. Okay, so what exactly is the Fibonacci retracement tool and what are Fibonacci ratios? So the Fibonacci retracement are popular among technical traders. They are based on the key numbers identified by mathematician Leonardo Pisano, nicknamed Fibonacci. In the 13th century, Fibonacci sequence of numbers is not as important as mathematical relationships expressed as ratios between the numbers in the series. In technical analysis, that's what we're using it for, a Fibonacci retracement is created by taking two extreme points. This is important, right? The extreme points, usually a peak and a throw on a stock chart or crypto chart, and dividing the vertical distance by the key Fibonacci ratio, which is a 23.6, 38.2, 50, 61.8, and 100%. Once these levels are identified, horizontal lines are drawn and used to identify possible support and resistance. So now that we understand what Fibonacci is, let's jump into the charts and I'll give you an example of how it works. And then we will dive into to this example strategy and see how it would have played out. So we're going to go back a bit in history. We're going to kind of look at the charts a little bit and kind of get a bird's eye view of how this works. All right, so first we're going to jump on the Brave Liquid Index chart, which kind of gives you a full history of Bitcoin's price action since its inception. So now, what information do we need to really understand how the strategy works? We don't need that much information, which is great. So we talked about Fibonacci first. Now, this is the Fibonacci retracement tool right here. Basically, like we said, you mark one spot, either the peak and a throw, and then you put it out, and it will give you these horizontal lines. Now, you see these two golden lines. I've specifically marked these because I've noticed they have very big confluence in the time chart in reference to price action. So this is the golden pocket, and this is the golden ratio. And then we have the remaining Fibonacci, which is the 2.618 to 3.618 and the 4.236. So that's Fibonacci right there. That's how you use the Fibonacci on the chart. Now, what do we need to know? We need to know that Bitcoin has a 4-year cycle, which is catalyzed by halving. If you don't know what Bitcoin halving is, we have other videos explaining it in detail. But Bitcoin halving happens every 4 years. What's the second thing we need to know? We need to know that the price of Bitcoin decreases after every bull run, and it retraces to a certain amount. What is that percentage? We're going to take a look at the chart and figure that out. We're going to use that information to determine where we can buy Bitcoin. And then finally, we need to understand the Fibonacci targets. We're actually using the Fibonacci 2.61 as our target area for taking profit. Now, why is this crucial? Every trade you make, you need to have entry and you should have an exit, right? Because if you understand this and you have a clear mind, you have your targets set, and then you can execute your trade without any emotion. You've done your research, you're entering, and when you're exiting. Now, this is obviously not something that I personally recommend. You don't want to enter into one trade and just have one major buy. But for the purpose of this example, we're going to keep it super simple, just so we can kind of see what that potential is by just understanding this one simple strategy. So first, let's determine the 4-year cycle. So we know we have a 4-year cycle. Let's determine by the halving. Every 4 years after halving, we get massive price increase. That happens once, happens twice, happens 3 times, and the next halving is next year. Now, history repeats. It doesn't repeat exactly, but it rhymes. So we expect something similar to happen. So that's number one. We understand the Bitcoin halving cycle. Number two, how do we figure out where to enter the trade? How do we figure out when is the best time to buy? At a 82% decrease. And exchange over to this chart methodologies. They have everything. And the third market cycle, the decrease was 83% as well. Now, based on this information, well, if we look at the fourth, well, we can see that it's only decreased 77%. So sometimes, this is why we're still hearing that we might not have hit the bottom and we should go down some more. Personally, I think we've already reached the bottom for this cycle. So now we understand that Bitcoin retraces somewhere between 90% and 70% based on these 4 cycles that we have right now. So we have our entry point, which is going to be somewhere anytime below the 80%. I would say it's a good entry point. But now, how do we figure out where we're going to sell? Now, we said we're going to use Fibonacci Tool. We said we're going to be selling. We're going to be selling our position at 3.618. Correct. There we go. We're going to sell at a 2.618. So let's start by figuring out our buy zone. So hypothetically speaking, it's 2019, 2019. And we have the information that we've learned, market cycle, Bitcoin retraces. So we decide, beautiful, Bitcoin has retraced 83%, and we decide to jump in. We confirm the bottom a little bit, price starts to move back up, and we enter into our trade around $40,000. So this is our first trade. Remember I said this is 4 trades. We're doing 4 trades, and let's see how far we can go with this. So we enter our first trade. We have our $5,000. We buy Bitcoin at $4,000, which is the entry point. That is equal to about 1.25 Bitcoin. Okay, so we have 1.25 Bitcoin. We've determined that we're going to exit this trade once we hit the 2.618, which based on this target is somewhere up at 45,000. So we allow Bitcoin to do its thing. Bam, bam, bam. It goes up, goes down, it goes sideways. But based on facts, based on the history, we know that it has the potential to hit this target. So what do you know? It comes all the way up, it hits our target. That actions our second trade, which sells at 1.25 Bitcoin at $45,000. Imagine that. You get a 10x return on that first one trade. That's equaling around $56,250. Isn't that amazing, guys? Just one trade, and carefully looking at a chart, understanding a couple of things. Trading is not that complex once we understand some basic premises, right? So now the market continues to go up. Hey, we didn't hit the top of the market, but we made a evaluated choice. We sold, and the market goes up a little bit higher, and then we start to retrace back down. Now we're in this last Bitcoin cycle at this point. We've decided, we're waiting for that 83.93. We came all the way down to 77. Okay, good time to start buying. We've decided right now, hey, the price is going up. We weren't sure, right? Oh, it's going down more, it's going down more. That's what everybody's saying. But we can see some steady price action moving up. We're holding this bottom of this channel. So, hey, we're saying, listen, you know what? The halving is coming. We already kind of moved up from this bottom. You know what? We're not even going to buy that low. We're buying right. That's why we bought a little bit right now. Not right now at the 27 price, but we bought somewhere at the 24,000. So our third trade, our buy, is going to be 56,250, which is our profit from our first 2 trades, and we're buying at $27,000. That is going to give us 2.08 Bitcoin. Now, we have already decided we buy this 2.08 Bitcoin, and we are selling at the 2.618. Now, the 2.618 for this coming cycle is somewhere around the $125,000 mark. So we are going to now sit down. And again, this is going to be interesting to see, because I can come back to this video later on once this cycle is done, and we can kind of see if this strategy would have played out. That's going to be interesting. I'm going to make sure to make a note to come back to this. But now imagine that the price action, based on our previous history, based on our calculated research, we can see that there is a potential for Bitcoin to come and hit this target. Based on previous price action, this is 100% possible. Now, we action this fourth sell, 2.08 Bitcoin at $125. That's only a 4x return compared to our first trade, which is a 10x return. That is going to give us roughly $260,000. So this is the premise of how we can take one investment and in 4 trades turn it into $260,000. Now, let's close this down for a sec. Now, this is obviously a scenario that we're not adding in a lot of other factors. Risk management, like I said before, I would never recommend somebody just do one large trade and then one large sell. The best thing to do, obviously, is to DCA into a trade and also DCA out of a trade. But for the purpose of, but this is also a valid strategy, which I also implement, right? You can buy at a specific price based on a calculated decision, and you have a specific sell price based on also calculated decision. So you're not allowing external influences to decide your trades. You're looking at the charts, you're looking at technical analysis, you're looking at price action and price history, and you're coming up with your decision on what to do. As the world sinks deeper into debt, your hard-earned money loses value daily. The solution: safeguard your wealth with smart, diversified, and decentralized income strategies. Breakout Solutions is on a mission to take back personal freedom, individual rights, and financial sovereignty. As the era of CBDCs, digital IDs, and social credit system approaches, it's crucial to act now to safeguard your financial future. Introducing the Future of Money, your guide to what's happening and what is coming. Join our 90-minute session to equip yourself, your loved ones, and your business against a system bent on control. Your time is precious. Don't waste it anymore. Use the link below, join our next virtual event, and access my exclusive bonuses. Yes, my friends, so that comes to the end of this live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this scenario that I played out for everyone. Now, if this is something that you're looking at, if you're sitting on the sidelines right now wondering, wow, is this crypto thing something I should look at? Is this something that I should dedicate a bit of time, not just as an investment, but as an education for yourself? Then I highly recommend you use the link in the description. Join us at the Future of Money. You can also book a 15-minute coaching call with me, and we can kind of dive a little bit deeper into what you're looking for, what your goals are, and how we could potentially help you succeed at that. Now, my friends, my name is Stefan Subero. Thanks again for joining. Let's learn, build, and grow together. Stefan out. Have a great day, everyone.